Hey, everybody, what is going on? Serial Overdrive here, and today we're talking about the latest and greatest Rust Console Edition news. Specifically, the new Rust Console Edition for next gen or current gen consoles. I keep wanting to say next gen, but let's be honest, these things have been out for like 4 or 5 years now, so it's current gen. We're talking about the Xbox Series S, the Xbox Series X, and the PlayStation 5. So, new version of the console edition of Rust is coming to those systems. It's going to have better graphics and it's going to allow us to do some cooler things. Now, they finally did show us a sneak peek at what this is going to look like. We've got one screenshot that was sort of leaked or released in the Discord, and then we've got the general video that a lot of people have seen, but I'm going to play that anyways because I know D11 is not going to copyright strike me because they should be glad I'm back. Maybe they're not, maybe they are, I don't know. If you're glad I'm back though, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button because it helps support the channel. And if you want a t-shirt, merch, or anything like that, they're down below. I actually sell those things at almost like a loss. So if you want to look like Serial Overdrive, feel free to get it. Anyways, let's take a look at this video. So right here, like you can just see this video playing. It's a pan up from the water. And the water looks good. It looks so much better than the water that we've got on the other, like on the current edition of Rust console, right? It looks so much better, but the graphics aren't all that we should care about. I'm going to go into that later, but look at the graphics. The water looks amazing. You've got a really nice draw distance there. You can sort of see the oil rig off in the distance. If you zoom in off to the right, it looks like you've got the harbor, and then at the left, you got a boat floating. The sun is sort of glaring in your face, so you can't really see as much, but it looks good. Right now, I'm going to cut to me playing the PC version of Rust, and you can see these graphics are somewhat similar. This is being played on a laptop. I don't know, there might be a link in the description. It's an HP Omen, really great laptop, 4080. Awesome. It's great for playing it no matter where you are in the world. But anyways, playing on a laptop, this is what it looks like with sort of a like $2,000-$3,000 computer, $3,000 machine. If you get a desktop PC, you can probably do it for like 1 to 1.5. That's what it looks like. Now, when you take the Series S, you take something that's like 250, $300, and you can do this level of graphics. That is crazy because the Series S, that's going to be your cheapest entry point into this new amazing console edition of Rust. And that is what's going to be holding everything back. I believe that in a couple years, we're probably going to have people saying, get rid of the Series S. We don't want it here anymore because we want to do better. Because that's the other thing with Rust. That's the thing that a lot of people forget. It keeps improving and the game leaves players behind on the PC. It's not this like this is not one of those no children left behind type things. Children are being left behind, and some of them aren't even riding like the short bus. They're just being left behind because they missed the bus and they can't catch up. It's like they leave everybody behind. It's like too bad. If you have 2,000 hours and your computer sucks, then you suck. Get lost. That's how they do it on the PC. Whereas the console, they've been a little bit gentler about it. They're like, hey, you got this like $25 Xbox, this $25 PlayStation. Would you like to maybe spend an extra $200 and then the next 1,000 hours of your life that you dump into this game is going to feel a lot better? And a lot of you, because you're such geniuses, decided not to do that. Maybe you don't have the money, or maybe yeah. I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. Like if you're going to spend 1,000 hours doing it, like just upgrade your system. It's going to be a much better experience. It's like literally cents per hour that you're paying, but it is what it is. So what's happening here is people are upgrading and they're going to get a better experience with this new console edition Rust. You can see the water looks about a lot better. The draw distance is better. The most important thing isn't what you're seeing here. It's not the graphics. The most important thing is what they're going to be able to do, because what you've got now is right now, like for instance, let's take mini copters, because I think mini copters are going to be one of the big things that you're going to see released with this next gen version. Like something like mini copters, something like vehicles, something even like horses, right? Like one of the problems, I know horses aren't console, all that, but like one of the problems you've got with these things, they go so fast that by the time you hit a point, the buildings are rendering behind you, so you just crash into things, right? That's what happens when your system's too slow. That's what happens when your memory's too slow. With this next gen of consoles, that's not going to be an issue, and they're going to be able to implement these things, and it's going to feel good. So the problem that you've got is if you start to give people too much of an advantage, right? Like if the person playing on the Xbox Series X has an advantage where they can fly mini copters and the people on the last gen can't, if that person can drive vehicles and the people on the last gen can't, or they can't do it without crashing and blowing up, and you've given them a huge advantage. And basically, it's pay to win, right? And it's pay to win to the point where the other players are going to feel left behind. They're not going to play each other, and you can't have this system where there's just like a second class. Well, you can have systems that you can't have a place where the second class system, like there are places where there's second class citizens. It's called India, but outside of India, you can't really do it. Like the U.S., we frown on that, right? We've got a monarchy here in America. Anyways, what's going on though is like you just don't want this system where it's like if you can't pay enough, you just get pooped down by everybody else, right? Like you don't want half your player play base to be feeders, so they can't introduce these features. When they guarantee that everybody's on this next gen console, they can because it's going to be a fair playing field, and things are not going to be rendering behind to the point where you crash. There's still going to be rendering issues, like to say Rust is going to be released, like the next gen Rust is going to be released without any issues. That's sort of like saying Trump's going to become president and not do something crazy. It's Trump. He's going to do something crazy. He's done something. Well, he's done a lot of things crazy. We're not here to talk politics, but come on. Even if you voted for Trump, you got to agree with me. There's some crazy shit going on. Anyways, and some of you probably like it. Anyways, no, what I'm saying though is like there's always going to be bugs. There's going to be crazy stuff going on. That's how it goes, right? But like it's going to be a lot more fair for everybody that's playing, and you're not going to have second class citizens that feel left out, which is what you want as a game developer, and that's what this is going to allow them to do. They're going to be able to introduce so much more stuff. So when you see the graphics and they don't look as good as you're expecting or as good as you're seeing right now on the PC, remember that part of that is because they're holding some of that system performance hostage, and they're going to release it. And when they release it, you're going to get features instead of graphics. And I think that's what we'd all rather have. Good graphics are nice, an amazing game, a smooth game, a game that is filled with more things to do. That's even better. So something like caves, that's another thing that you could see that's going to be enabled. Like there's just a lot of stuff that's going to be a lot easier for them to do. And I think we're going to see leaps and bounds on that first year that it's released. I think we're going to be seeing like mini copters dropping right away. You're going to probably see new boats. You're probably going to see caves. You're probably going to see new monuments. You're probably going to see all sorts of stuff that they couldn't easily port over. And they're no longer going to have to take time to do that. They're going to be able to just boom, 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 drop it. And you got to remember, too, right now, they're not really doing any work on the current console edition of Rust. All their manpower is being poured into this next gen version, which means there's going to be a lot of stuff coming, and they're probably going to hold some back just so we can get like a nice flow of features and releases and really pump it up so they can get those sales numbers up. I could honestly, if this works out, if this is a good like release, I could see this game easily getting 100 to a million sales in the first year, right? Like 100,000, I should say. But like 100,000, I think it's going to get in the first month. I think it could cross 500,000 in the first year, and if it's done really well, I could see it hitting a million because console edition Rust is one of those games that like so many people know about it and they're interested in it, but they don't want to get into it because it's just this massive undertaking. Better it looks, and the more you've got, the more likely people are going to jump into it. And with this next gen, I think that's something that we're going to see. Honestly, though, I think everybody should be super psyched about this. The graphics, what they've released so far, it looks amazing, and it's not so overblown that I'm like, this couldn't be real. It looks like something that they could actually be doing. In addition to that, it doesn't look like they're blowing the system out of the water, so we're not going to be able to have future features. And that's what I like to see. Also, that screenshot, that special screenshot that they leaked to Discord, you can look at that. A lot of people have been digging into it, but there's not really too much to see. People are looking to see if they can see like a mini copter flying by or special monuments or anything like that. I don't think we should be looking at that yet because right now, probably what they're doing is just introducing everything. One thing that this does show is it looks like there's a little bit of ambiance. There's a little bit of weather going on. So we might actually see the weather system that you see in the PC version of Rust, which would be really cool. You're going to get lightning. It's going to make the night so much more ambient because you're going to have things like there's going to be lightning flashes that you can see through and just all sorts of like little things that are added that actually it does add a lot to the game. And it'll be really exciting to see that. I am actually psyched for this. I'm actually like super excited for this, right? Like, I know right now I don't have a console, and one of the reasons is because these videos don't make a ton of money. If you're wondering, like, my channel's made a decent amount, and I'll talk about that later in some other video, but like, these videos aren't making a ton of money. If someone wants to drop $200, I'll go out and buy a console right now, but it takes a little bit of time for it to be, well, it doesn't take a little bit of time for it to be worth it. It's just, I'm not going to be, I'm traveling right now. I'm not going to be like traveling between countries, buying a new Xbox in every country or bringing it along with me. It's just too much of a hassle to do. So I'm trying to be chill with it. Anyways, though, yeah, we're going to be getting some console gameplay pretty soon, I think. And I think that it's going to be exciting for everybody to see. And hopefully it's going to be an exciting release cycle that we're going to have. We're going to see some really cool stuff dropping. And hopefully it's going to be a fun one. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. It feels great to be back. For now, hopefully you enjoy the PC version of Rust gameplay. I know I'm not that good at it. I'm just playing it sort of sporadically here. I jump in, get going, see if I can get anything to happen. I'm not worried about building bases or anything crazy like that because I'm not gonna do upkeep. I'm not gonna be worried about that. I just want to get in and hunt. Anyways, thanks for watching. Until next time, peace.